In this video, I'm going to show you how to do a scatter diagram on your graphing calculator, and then also use that data to go ahead and find a line of best fit, or also known as a least squares regression line. Okay, so first thing we're going to do, I'm going to show you how to get to the list. I was just on them, but I want to show you how to get there. The way you do that is you go to Stat, and then the very first option, Edit, go ahead and hit Enter. And that's going to take you to this, and we're going to enter the data into these lists. Now, if you had data already entered in there from a previous problem, you can clear it by arrowing up to where it highlights over L1, hit the clear button, and then enter, and it'll clear the list for you. Okay, but I have nothing in here, so I'm going to go ahead and enter my data into, each list. So 88.6, 71.6, 93.3, 84.3, and 80.6. So these are representing temperature in degrees Fahrenheit. And I'm going to arrow over, and this is going to be representing the number of chirps per minute. I'm not going to put the point zeros just because that's unnecessary, but I'll go ahead and put any decimal point that's not 0.0. So these represent chirps of crickets. So crickets chirp more based on higher temperature. So this is going to kind of look at that data. So before I graph this, I need to go to the scatter plot area, which you can go to. It's under the stat plot button, which is in like blue on my screen. You actually have to hit second and the Y equals button to get to it. And then you'll have a list of plots. More likely yours are off, but as you can see, my very first plot is on. Just select the first one. And if it is off, go ahead and turn it on. So just highlight, hit enter on the on button. If you just hit enter, it'll toggle it on and off. It's already defaulted right now to scatter plot. There are several different types of graphs. The one we want is the one that has little dots, okay? And it also defaulted to list 1 and list 2 for the X and Y values, which is perfect for me because I'm going to treat these values like X and these like Y. Okay, so to graph this, I like to go to Zoom, which is right here in the middle of the screen. So I'm going to go to Zoom, and then I'm going to go to option number 9. You can actually click the number 9. You don't have to arrow down, but it says Zoom Stat. And what this does is it adjusts for the statistical data. It makes it look nice and pretty. And here we go. Here's our data graphed, okay? So we've just finished part A, and we kind of see that it definitely looks like a pattern going on. It does seem to be that one is increasing, the other is increasing. So let's find the line of best fit, okay? To do this, we're going to go back to Stat. So back to the Stat button again. This time, arrow right and go to Calculate. Okay, so the Calculate menu, and then the number 4 option, LinReg. You can arrow down or hit Enter, or just hit the number 4 and it automatically selects LinReg. Now, on my calculator, I have to tell the calculator I'm going to use list 1 and list 2. So I need to hit second and the number 1, comma, which is above the 7 button, second, and the number 2. Some calculators already have a menu button that it literally already has L1 and L2 already pre-selected for you, and all you have to do is go down to Calculate. I'm just going to hit Enter, and here is my line of best fit. Now, the calculator, rather than calling it y equals mx plus b, which most people know, they call it ax plus b. So a is representing the slope, and b is representing the y-intercept. Now, they asked me to round to 2 decimal places on part B here, so the second decimal place. So I'm going to input then y equals point. So if I'm rounding to the second decimal place, that's going to end up rounding to 0.20, right? 0.20x, there's the slope, plus 1.58 for the y-intercept. And there's my line of best fit. Now, this question asks, what does the slope of the line mean? So first of all, it's asking what is the slope, which we already talked about. It's that a value, or 0.20 in this case. And what does it mean in the context of the problem? Well, here's what it means. It means for every increase in temperature, every 1 degree Fahrenheit increase in temperature, we can expect the chirping to increase by 0.2 chirps per second. So chirps increase by 0.2 chirps per second. So the idea is the slope is a rate. So we always are describing our rate in terms of what is going on with the y value when we increase the x value. In this case, our y value is the chirps per second, so that's why we're looking at that as the increase in y, over this increase of temperature, which is our x.